Hi students, in this video I'll be going through the 2019 O-Level Additional Mathematics Paper 1 question 3. Alright, so let's read the question. So given that y equals to a times e to the power of 2x plus b times e to the power of negative x, and that dy over dx plus 4y equals to e to the power of 2x minus e to the power of negative x, find the value of each of the constants a and b. Right, so over here in this question, we have two unknowns, A and B. Okay, so if you watch my previous videos, I always say that when you have two constants, right, two unknowns, usually we try to form two simultaneous equations, and then when we solve those equations, we should be able to find the A and B, okay, the two unknowns. But for this question, you notice that it's slightly different because in this question, we are not really given any information for us to form those two equations, right? So the approach that you take for such a question will be different. Okay, so the question that I always ask you to ask yourself, right, is that whenever you come across something like this, where it looks unfamiliar to you, you always ask yourself, what else is there to be done? Okay, what else can be done? Okay, so now you are given the expression for y. Okay, and then over here you are given an equation that involves dy dx. So one of the things that you could possibly do to proceed forward would be to differentiate the y, right? To get dy dx in terms of e to the power of 2x and e to the power of negative x, right? Then the next thing is, how do I deal with this y? Okay, if you look at the right side of this particular equation, it doesn't have a y, right? So am I able to substitute the y away? And you will notice that actually you can, because the expression for y is given to you straight over here. Okay, so we can actually also sub it inside, and then the left side and the right side will now be free for y already. And then maybe later we can do some comparison which will allow us to find a and b. Right, so ask yourself the question, what else is there to be done? Okay, so let's start. So y equals to a times e to the power of 2x plus b times e to the power of negative x. So we need dy dx, right, if you want to substitute it away. Right, so exponential functions are very easy to differentiate. So when you differentiate a times e to the power of 2x, you get this. Okay, differentiate the power 2x, you get 2, so you have this. Okay, then b times e to the power of negative x, everything remains the same. Differentiate the power, you get negative 1, so you get this. Right, so let's tidy up a bit, so you get this. Okay, so this is the expression for dy dx. Okay, so let's form some equations. Okay, so let's call this equation 1. Okay, let's name the equation 2. Okay, and this equation that they give us, the one that involves dy dx plus 4y, let's call it equation 3. Okay, then let's do the substitution. Okay, so let's call this equation 3. Okay, so let's sub 1 and 2 into 3. And then we see whether we can do any comparison to find a and b. So this is perhaps the only thing you can possibly do to proceed forward in this question, right? There's nothing else much that you can do. So let's do the substitution. So substitute 1 and 2 into 3. Okay, so dy dx is this. Okay, so let's replace the dy dx with 2a e to the power of 2x minus b e to the power of negative x times 4y. So let's replace the y with this one now. Okay, this whole thing. Okay, this whole thing over here. Times a times e to the power of 2x plus b times e to the power of negative x. Then equals to the right side e to the power of 2x minus e to the power of negative x. Okay, so from here you can clearly see that you're going to end up with just two types of term, e to the power of 2x term and e to the power of minus x term. And indeed, we can do the comparison already. Okay, so 4a e to the power of 2x okay, let's group all the e to the power of 2x term together. So e to the power of 2x term is here and here. So 2a e to the power of 2x plus 4a e to the power of 2x, that will give you 6a e to the power of 2x. Then let's group the e to the power of negative x term together, minus b plus 4b, so that will give us plus 3b. Okay, so now we can do the comparison already, right? Okay, so let's compare the e to the power of 2x term to find a, right? So comparing the e to the power of 2x term. Okay, so over here we have on the left side, the e to the power of 2x term is 6a times e to the power of 2x. And on the right side is just e to the power of 2x, right? So if you divide by e to the power of 2x, you get 6a is equals to 1. So a will be equals to 1 over 6, right? Okay, then now we'll just compare the e to the power of negative x term. So comparing e to the power of negative x term. Okay, so you have 3b e to the power of negative x equals to negative, right? So if you divide by e to the power of negative x, you get 3b equals to negative 1. So b equals to negative 1. Right, so this will be the solution for this question. So this is not a typical question that you will see in the exam, but questions like this do come out. So the thing to ask yourself is, what else can you do, okay, to proceed forward to solve the question? Okay, definitely don't just keep staring at the question and not write anything. Okay, so if there's one thing you can do, at least you can do dy dx, and then you try to do some substitution. And then always remember, for y, okay, a lot of people will get stuck at what to do with the y, right? So you look at the right side, there's no y, so think about substituting away the y as well, right? So this is something that you can think about, right?